Miller, you're here to prove to your ex-boyfriend Scotty Rasmussen that he is not the father of your 3-year-old daughter, Zaylee Rasmussen.
Yes, Your Honor.
It is imagined that one should risk everything, his job, his sanity, his car, just to get to witness the birth of his child. What that would be like, to be informed then and there, she is not yours. This is not just a courtroom drama. It is a battle of the psyche, of love, trust, and betrayal. An honest man to an uncertain woman. Passion and blood are at the boil. Honesty is on a slender thread, and none other than paternity is all that is at hazard. It is identity, fatherhood, and fair play. Hello, everybody, to the tragic and outrageous case of Miller vs. Rasmussen. Battle is joined. Scotty Rasmussen does not enter the court with evidence, but with feeling. He has unconsciously been driving more than 160 miles to visit Zaylee almost every other weekend over the last 3 years, and believes that the child is his daughter. It is not a paper bond they have. The thing that they built was bedtime stories, birthdays, and unconditional love. This is what Ms. Miller comments. She says that it is not his child. Scotty finds himself in a shaken world in search of truth in the form of a DNA test. The custody case has shifted to an identity war. His love is doubted and his presence is doubted. Yet Scotty is giving hope, hanging on to it, just to show that people can be fathers even when genetically it is not possible. Fidelity versus hate. Scotty is loyal. He was also present when Zaylee was born. He was the one who cut the cord and held her in his arms first. He was hardly ever absent on a holiday or phone call, or any one occasion of being dad. Ms. Miller is a woman with conflicting feelings, as the writer portrays. She denies that he is the father, portraying him as losing his mind. As the action shifts to court, however, she is enraged to the point of switching with the deference and genuineness of him. Is she in pain, and does this resentment lie deep in her, or is it more spiteful? In the meantime, Scotty keeps his own way, acting and not preaching. The court becomes a field of argument with emotions, and loyalty is used as a weapon and hate as a knife. The mental mileage. It is not only exhausting to travel 100+ miles back and forth, but that is emotional warfare. Whenever Scotty made a trip, he did it with anticipation, and his heart would leap every time he saw the smile of Zaylee. However, doubt set in. His family talked and talked. Close people began to question his decisions, and he even started to split himself inside. And there he did not cease. Childhood had no deadlines. It was a vow in the case of Scotty, something to which he had never made a promise, not even married and in bed, that he intended to breach. He has not only clocked in the miles on his car, but the wear and tear on his soul. And with every journey, he got even closer, not only to Zaylee, but that moment when truth would set him or break him free. Ms. The Web of Doubt by Miller. The position is cold-blooded on the part of Ms. Miller. Her tale also varies with time, at first accepting the fact that the child belongs to Scotty, and the latter detail being rejected later. She talks with authority, but her contradictions creep in her speech. What is her motivation? Protection? Fear? Spite? Her story starts to fall to pieces in the courtroom. Words, chronology, and stress make it obvious that a woman is between two worlds. Is she protecting her daughter against a man she no longer trusts, or is she hiding something that she feels too ashamed to tell? The jury does not observe just a mother. They observe to be truthful, a mystery in the skin of a mother, obfuscated the issue and paralyzed by doubt. Courtroom confessions. Day by day, the courtroom is filling up with silence and suspicion. Scotty tells of his broken heart, his fatigue, and his blindness with Ms. Miller. He is exposed, naked, and no man of words. Ms. When the pressure is applied, Miller does reveal the most shocking fact, that other partners, other timelines existed. In the revelation, they shift the case. There is the murmur in the courtroom, the judge cocks one eyebrow, and Scotty, eyes full of betrayal and relief, cries, "It is not a case that his Zaylee is his, but simply about his lies that he had constructed his life, not realizing." It is not a drama. It is the whole reality of a man cracking and remaking in front of us. The DNA verdict. The air becomes charged up when the judge holds the DNA envelope. Scotty is building the whole future, all the miles he will drive, all the time he will spend together, on the verge of a test. Ms. Miller is nervous. The audience takes a break in their breathing. The result? Scotty is not the father of the child. Silence. Then devastation. But something queer occurs. Scotty does not break. He nods and sighs, and then he closes his eyes. He came to get the truth, and he got it. Although the legal right expired, the DNA could not make Zaylee forget about the emotional connection she made with the child. Biology lost, but love. Aftermath and heartbreak. The hinterland is filled with sobs, discombobulation, and naked silence. In a showdown of dignity, Scotty walks out of the court with his head held high, still devastated. He did not lose a child. He lost a dream. And that is worse. Ms. Miller does not want to have anything to do with the cameras. Her eyes are filled with the story of something that cannot be told. Scotty does not lashes. He does not blame. Rather, he laments the fact that he never got a hug, to laugh and call him daddy by a little girl. He gets back into his lonely drive. This time, it is not to a child, but to the dream that he used to live. He is still, however, a man of force. Redefining fatherhood. This case makes us pose the question, what really makes a father? Is it the blood? Is it presence? Is it sacrifice? Scotty made drastic changes regarding fatherhood, which was not a matter of genes, but actually consistency, love, and undeviating concern. The law might have said he was not the father, but he had already been one in every sense of the word. Zaylee can never know how much he loved her, although the viewer does. And possibly today and a little time hereafter, she will too. The world is a place which is too quick to conclude judgment based on DNA. And in such a world, Scotty showed that being a dad has nothing to do with biology but belief. His love lost turned into a teachable moment to people watching. That was not just court spectacle, as the case of Scotty Rasmussen and Ms. Miller, but it was more of a revelation of how confused love, truth, and identity can get. One can easily think that the DNA is what determines fatherhood, but this story showed something more substantial, the strength of the everlasting love and emotional commitment. Scotty might have walked out without legal rights, but he walked out with something there was no stopping him to give up even at the end, his integrity. It was not a defeat, it was the agony of birth, a reprise of the truth. As we consider this story, it makes us realize that some truths are ugly but essential. And other men, good men like Scotty, remind us that, though it takes a man to make a father, being a father has nothing to do with whose blood flows in a child, or even who or what belongs in the life of a child, but who is there with a child in times of trouble, sometimes mile after mile when the world says, walk away, and indeed, many do. This was his quest. This was his reality. And that is all of ours to remember.